The Madison School District has completed its third year in using a progressive and restorative approach to student behavior. This is a significant shift from a punitive approach focused on compliance that is still common in schools throughout the country. The three interconnected components of a restorative approach in education include creating just and equitable learning environments, nurturing healthy relationships, and repairing harm and transforming conflict. These components have grown from core beliefs that all individuals are worthy and relational, and are rooted in the values of respect, dignity, and mutual concern. Using a restorative approach is not just something that we do, but rather who we are and the way we do business in schools. The fundamental premise of a restorative approach is that people are happier, more cooperative and productive, and more likely to make positive changes when those in authority do things with them rather than to them or for them. School leaders have a critical role in modeling this approach. Restorative leaders walk the walk through embodying the core belief that all individuals are worthy in their interactions with staff, students, and families. They demonstrate a willingness to share power, take risks and be vulnerable, and an openness to changing perspective. Restorative leadership is essential in surfacing and combating inequities to create schools that affirm cultural identity and foster a sense of belonging among all students.
I was working at Blackhawk before the district changed its model. We used to just do a little bit more of an isolated program, and now we have a coordinator, myself, placed here 2 days a week. So since that change has happened, and since we've had Mr. Sims as the principal or in leadership, I've seen a real expansion of restorative justice, and I've seen it become more a part of the general culture of the school. Teachers and students are using more restorative language. I see more circles and restorative conversations, and there's definitely a stronger sense of community in the building than when I first started here a couple years ago.
So coming here last year as Dean of Students, I was hired, and one of the first things I learned were that we wanted to really work and develop our behavioral systems as a whole. Taking on that responsibility as the Dean of Students, I knew one of the first and most important things for me was going to be building relationships of trust with my staff as well as my students. In doing so, making sure that we had a system in place that was best supportive of students from a behavioral as well as an academic standpoint was going to be the foundation of making the improvements around the work that needed to be done here. So that's where I focus my work. Kids don't care how much you know until they first know how much you care. So being able to take that into my leadership role and know that I had to allow for my students to know that, but also for my staff. Being in this building has been very unique and humbling at the same time, because just like kids don't always care how much you know until they first know how much you care, the adults are the same way. And I had to build those relationships of respect and trust so that the adults in this building knew that I was here to support them, not to criticize, but to really dive in the work together with them and take a united front.
It's difficult to overstate the importance of having a leader who supports restorative justice. I'm here 2 days a week, and the YWCA brings certain resources, but if we didn't have a leader who utilized those resources and promoted those resources and really took the lead, then the work wouldn't be able to move forward in the way that it has.
I think it's not only just the words, but the actions, that speaks volumes to us here on a day-to-day basis, that we're not going to just do it because it's a new initiative or because it sounds good or because someone wrote it in a textbook somewhere and that's what it makes people feel good to say those things. But actually, this is what we're doing. It is not easy work, and recognizing the difficulties in it sometimes and the frustrations that lead with it. I think having a leader that honors that and respects that is vital.
So recently Allie and I started using restorative justice circles every Friday in my classroom, and we do them to build community and also get to know each other, and then work it into sort of the curriculum and discuss the topic for either the week that we just finished, like sort of a reflection, or the week coming up. And then if it's needed to solve a problem in our classroom, we can also work that into the restorative justice circle on Friday. It's really important that Mr. Sims believes in restorative justice, because as a teacher I feel that if I do need to call for support in a student, or if a student is misbehaving, that I know they're going to be given a second chance and have a chance to repair the relationships that were broken and be able to do something to work to fix the problem instead of just punish for it. So there is a consequence for the students, and they do learn from the experience, but it's not just punitive. I know that Mr. Sims is going to give them an opportunity to fix it and help that student grow.
I think it really helps build a culture of the kids know that they have an opportunity first before the adults act and react, and we're all always doing it in the interest of helping the kid because we love the child.
One of the things I admire about Jamie Sims as a leader is the way that he approaches the staff. I think that he models a restorative approach with the staff. He builds a sense of community with the staff, and he values each individual person for who they are as a human being. And just like with the students, we don't define people by the worst thing they've ever done. So he's really created an environment where he builds relationships with adults and is able to then work together through the difficult things just the way that we want to do with kids. And I think the learning that we all, including myself, get from that is critical to being able to model that with the students.
The 2 years that I've been here having this partnership with YWCA, Miss Allie has been a tremendous asset to our building. My leadership staff and my staff as a whole has been very receptive to this work, and we've had professional development year-long on restorative justice, and it's been something that for me has taught me a lot, but in return has given me the ability and the opportunity to provide more for my staff and my students here at Black Hawk, and it's been a great success so far, and I hope that we can keep moving that work forward.